Face, front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Prize Podcast, a podcast of comics, movies, merchandise, and more. I am your host, a Boingo writer, and with me, as always, in the bullpen,
representing the Boy I Hope Boingo's Internet Works This Week competition, the Vacuuminator is here.
See, here's the thing. You don't say that kind of shit because you're gonna curse it.
Well, I just had to put it out there.
You motherfucker, thank God. Knock on fucking wood.
Yeah, I'll knock on all the wood. Knock over my Electra Daredevil that I opened today and is fantastic.
No. Knock on wood, not knock on things that give you wood.
I actually don't find this costume all that warm.
I was more making a joke of the fact that you were just very excited of having the figure.
No, this is a good action figure. I like the posability and the accessories. Why must you assume I want to fuck all female characters represented in plastic?
Wait, hold on. I'm not assuming you want to fuck the figure. I'm saying you are excited about having it. You're just in a general excitement, giving you an excitement boner.
I mean, wouldn't you be excited about this?
That's the joke. Motherfuckers are already flexing. Yeah, look at this man.
Yeah, I flex. I am constantly flexing. I'm a very flexible person. Why do you think this podcast never happens at the same time twice? But I'm...
Oh, you're so flexible? Do some yoga right now.
I've never understood, just responding to the last thing Buster put in the chat, I've never understood the phenomena of being horny for figures, no matter if they are of the sex you're attracted to or not.
I don't think it's being horny for the figure. I think it's being horny in the same way that you, like, a person who would read a doujin or watch a hentai would be horny over it.
Like that I get. That is explicitly meant to be there for you to enjoy yourself to put it in PG terms. But like figures, any kind of like action figure, like I get the statues and whatnot. There's statues that are clearly meant to titillate, but action figures,
like any of the bunny ones.
Yeah, I really don't. I just don't see why anyone, even like stuff like MMS Gurren and Yoko, that's something where I'm just like, I don't get that. I don't get it. But
a lot of the V-Pals collect those bunny girl figures. Those bunny girl
statues. The bunny girl. It's a cool idea for a line. It's a very smart way to capitalize on weeb culture, but it's statues. It's not.
They have legitimate stockings. That's the impressive part to me.
Yeah.
Okay, hi. This is No Prize.
What's up?
We talk about shit.
We sure do.
We talk about so much shit. Some of it is a secret.
Oh my god.
Bad segue. Bad segues are bad.
I thought we were done talking about current content. Why are we talking about Secret Invasion? Whoa.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Secret Invasion, the show is over. We're talking about the Avengers episode now.
Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Season 2, Episode 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12. Secret Invasion.
Yeah, this is the culmination of their adaptation of everything to do with the Skrulls. Mainly the modern Secret Invasion comic, but also a little bit of the Kree-Skrull War and just doing their own thing as well. And, yeah, we're halfway through the second season, Buster. And I think this is a pretty good mid-season finale. And it's maybe a little rushed feeling as a finale to this arc, but overall it's a solid episode.
Oh, yeah. And again, like we said last episode, if these 3 Secret Invasion episodes were like super cut into a movie where things are interspersed and paced better, it would have been 10 times better.
Because a lot of this episode is just a group of Avengers fighting a ton of Super Skrulls in an empty, like, what's that part of DC called?
It's the lawn for the fucking Capitol building.
The National Lawn, that's what it's called. But, and it's like, okay, I like the idea of the Avengers fighting here, but also you'd think there'd be a shit ton more people here they'd have to be constantly saving.
Yeah.
And I get animation budget and whatnot, but that's just something that popped into my mind, especially during that last bit where the scrolls are standing there and they're making that video, and it's like, why is there no one in the background right now? You're on the friggin' steps of the national lawn.
Well, here's the thing: they are fenced in to the building.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you like the gate to the White House
Mm,
is fucking a good bit away.
that's true. I guess I could see that, but it's like I also am just used to seeing in like movies and stuff a bunch of tourists there.
Yeah.
And there's like that one little group of like four people, two of which are a news crew, and that's all you get.
Yeah, it's limitations, but like there's always going to be limitations with things. And the way that they were trying to tell the story, it works.
Yeah, and realistically, that's like my one minor qualm in an otherwise pretty good episode that has a lot of wrapping up to do.
Mm-hmm. I think the laziest thing is just the narration epilogue of just like
Oh yeah,
what are we what
this so
happened?
clearly we ran out of time.
We ran out of time. We ran out of time. We can't do any more, and we want to just move on with the story.
Yeah.
Because next episode, I think, is one of the best episodes of Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
It's one of the best writing wise, but it's one of the most controversial all the other wise. But we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, this episode has like a lot of good stuff going on in it. Like I love the Maria Hill life model decoy moments and the little like callbacks to how things have been going in the arc so far with just trying to remember, she's Miss Marvel right now, Carol Danvers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with her like blasting a scroll before it can take out Hawkeye and going, we even now, and he's just like, no.
He's
That
Hawkeye.
is classic Hawkeye.
Yeah. Classic Hawkeye is a dick, and it's only recently where he's like, maybe I've been a little bit of a dick.
Yeah, he gets to be an older an older feller and starts looking back and going like, oh, maybe I could make amends in some places. Also, I love my surrogate daughter.
My daughter.
My daughter.
Yeah, the next episode, Buster. Next episode. For people who
Mhm.
aren't aware of the running order, they're just going like, "What the fuck is the next episode? What is it?" And
It's
just like,
the Spider-Man one.
yeah, but it's also just like it's the classic Spider-Man Captain America team up, you know.
Mhm. Also, hey Nightmare, you are a little late, but
About
we're
15
also
minutes.
still getting started. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that stuff. I like one of my favorite things about this episode is they do the four coming in at the last moment like a big damn hero moment years before the MCU with Infinity
yeah.
War. And he's wearing the freaking JMS costume. I was so hyped when I saw that.
Oh Jesus, it's 4 a.m. Why is it 4 a.m. Hell?
Hell, a very important question. Are you up early or did you stay up all night?
I remember you moved to the Netherlands. I didn't want to say that though. I was just waiting. He's like,
The entire show is did it before the MCU. Not the entire show, but there are a lot of moments like that.
I'm being hailed. Hold on a moment.
Oh my goodness, he's been hailed. He's been hailstormed. He's gonna go get the dents out of his car because there's so much hail. It's just a hail of messages and bullets and opinions and things and I don't know what else can I talk about with this episode. How am I doing? It's both. Nightmare, it can't be both. Have you been up for like 48 hours? That's not okay. No. I woke up at 11 a.m.
Okay,
and
I gotta
stayed
put
up
something
since.
up into the fridge, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll put the camera on you alone.
I mean, I woke up at 11 a.m., but I'm not going to be up till 4 tonight. I got work tomorrow, man. I got to go back to working on Mondays next week, and oh boy, Am I not excited about that? But we'll make it work. We'll figure it out. Actually, I've already figured it out, or I've tentatively figured it out. I got a new weekly schedule that I came up with last night. But how am I doing? I mean, that should pretty much tell you, Buster. I'm trying to get ready for shifting back into what life normally should be. I've technically had it easy throughout the summer, but gonna have to tighten the belt going into the fall school semester, and that's gonna be interesting to see how well I handle that. I already had to make some major production changes, which you would know if you pledged to me on Patreon. It's just $1, folks. Patreon.com/the Vacuuminator. But yeah, we got to record Twit late tomorrow. And actually, I was so busy today because I woke up late and I was scrambling to do things. I haven't watched the new episodes yet. And I have no time to do that tomorrow morning. So, probably as soon as we're done with this podcast, I'm going to do that and be up like another 2 hours after we're done with this podcast because I got 2 episodes of King Oger to watch, Geets, and the Blazer special. I want to make sure I watch all those, and that's roughly like an hour and 45 minutes worth of content if I just straight line it. Which normally my brain can't just straight line content like that. I have to have a little something to break it up. So, well, like checking social media. I mean, so we'll see how that goes. I want to be in bed by like no later than 1:30 a.m. if possible, because got to get up at 7 a.m. for work. And that's going to be fun. I stayed up for 17 on a plane and 24 hours on my first day here, so I delayed up 41 hours. That is insane. I don't know how a human keeps working after that. Like, I would imagine your body clock would just implode and you'd have to sleep for a week straight. That is a really crazy thing to be going through, Nightmare. You watched the episodes Eater Buster? Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, do you have to go to a job or a school tomorrow? Because you might be better off than me. Because the funny thing is, tomorrow isn't even the start of the fall school semester. We still have another week until that. So I don't even have a lot to do at work this week.
Oh,
But
nothing to do. Oh, how much of a shame.
Mhm. But I'm just saying, like, realistically, it shouldn't be a problem. But one of the few things I can't do on my phone at work is watch the new episodes unless I want to hop on like Kiss Asian or something like that. And I'm not about to do that on my phone.
Uh, I hope everyone's doing all right. I just had to deal with a thing. I'm sorry about that.
Mhm. That's fine. It's fine. Hey, at least it wasn't your internet destroying the stream.
No, but the episode.
Uh I
Uh,
was
I.
we were talking about Four's Big Bad Return.
Yeah, it was great. Thor's good. We got into a can't really normal like you asked me to do. I asked okay.
Oh, interesting.
Uh, Thor coming back was fun. I love how Tony's just immediately like, oh, there's no big deal. I'm just gonna immediately be sarcastic.
That's such a perfect interaction
By
between
the
those
way,
two.
I'm glad you're back. Thor is like, I understand what you're going through. It's okay.
That's like that's like Superman showing up to help with a big event happening in Gotham. Batman would be like, we got it handled, but while you're here, could you do this? And also, good to see you, buddy. That's how I
Uh,
would write those two
I think
anyway.
Cap Scroll on the thumbnail has like 5 chins. Yeah, that's what scrolls
That's
look
how,
like.
that's how scrolls work.
That's how scroll. Do you think there was any like fan theories before people knew about the origins of Thanos? Was like, oh, is Thanos a mutant scroll?
Didn't Jason Aaron do like an alternate scroll book or an alternate Thanos book that gave him a backstory as like a freaky mutant scroll?
I mean,
I remember.
he's a freaky mutant eternal.
Mm.
Just period. He is an eternal.
I know that, but I seem to remember Jason Aaron doing a book like that at one point in like the mid 2010s, but I couldn't tell
Hmm.
you what it was called.
Kunst knows. But
Mm.
yeah, good
Uh,
episode.
yeah, it was a very solid ending to this story that's been building and building and building. And I do like that they do, the Marvel thing and they leave it open ended. They say like, "Oh, Cap's not okay coming back to a world where somebody completely abused his face." He has that moment where he just beats the shit out of Scroll Cap and berates him for using his face, and then at the end they're like, "All right, everything's back to normal." Except nobody can trust Cap, and he's sad about that.
Yeah. What about Goku? I don't know about Goku Aki. Um, and has Wolverine shown up yet? Wolverine has not shown up yet.
Nope, no Wolverine.
But Wolverine has
he had a cameo as a photo on Nick Fury's conspiracy board last episode.
Goku should show up here. Sure.
Goku should stay in his own goddamn comic.
Leaving, they said, not 8, ready, let the plane go, pass, but the one last call on your family, last name, out and boarded yet. Oof.
Damn.
No, what was I about to say? No, the X-Men references, though.
Yeah.
We had an entire X-Men Super Scroll.
Mm-hmm. I think they say something about like the X-Men are occupied, and they do very cleverly go like, "Oh, the Baxter Building just gets shoved into an alternate dimension, so the FF can't bolster their forces."
Right. But there's also another X-Men reference when Clay Quartermain, who is a character, he is from the comics, he's not made up for the show.
Yeah.
Shoots Maria Hill. She's right before he shoots her, she says, "When all this is done, I'm gonna get a t-shirt." Bang! And it's gonna say Nick Fury was right.
Yeah.
Which just feels like it's a reference to Cyclops was right, Magneto was
it
right.
has to be, and it's also just such a bizarre line to see coming out of Maria Hill's mouth, knowing her comic counterpart.
Yeah. But, like, it feels very much that kind of, like, this person knowing, like, everyone sees as, like, this big bad dude is like, nah, he was right about this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. This is funny how, like, every time somebody adapts Maria Hill, they make her, like, Nick Fury's right-hand lady best buddy person, and she is so not that in the comics.
Yeah, but also we don't. It makes sense for Nick Fury to have a right-hand best buddy person in other material, because, like, he needs someone to talk to, and he can't just use thought bubbles.
That's true.
You know. Yeah.
Good episode.
Good episode. Oh yeah, there was one thing that I meant. I watched this episode while and back listened to my commentary.
Yeah.
Iron Man was a little chunky this episode. I don't know if they changed animation models. Like they were like, let's change up his design a little bit, or if
wasn't he working on a new armor in the last episode and he put it on and then he got zapped?
Maybe. I don't know. He was just a little bit chunkier. Not in a bad way. I like it. I like Iron Man chunky.
Oh yeah.
That
was always one of my big critiques with the MCU past a certain point is they started just making the armor like almost skin tight, and I hated that. It needs to look like armor.
I don't mind it because it's very clearly they were going in a very specific direction with it. I'm just sad that we kind of skipped the modular armor.
Yeah. They homaged like so many armors, just like, yeah, in this movie he's wearing the ultimate armor, in this movie he's wearing bleeding edge, blah, 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 and they never did modular.
Modular's one of the best fucking Iron Man suits.
It's certainly one that had a big cultural impact for a whole generation.
At what point in the show were all the episodes we're at the point with the show where all the episodes aired first in Australia.
Oh, did this season get Power Rangered?
I mean, modular media. Yeah, of course we'd like the modular suit. Buster, you would like the modular suit too. It's the Iron Man suit and the Marvel vs. games.
Mm-hmm. It did get Power Rangered. I never knew that. That's pretty hilarious.
Damn.
For those of you who don't know, for years, up until just the most recent season, when Power Rangers would air, you'd get like the first 10 to 12 episodes, and then it would go on hiatus for like 6 months. And about 3 months into that hiatus, the show would start airing in the UK, and they wouldn't do the hiatus over there. So we'd get all the episodes from after the hiatus, like a full week before they would air in America, because the UK was just going straight through. So like any fans weren't actually watching it on TV, they were just watching the UK leaks. That was a weird thing. That was a weird cultural constant in that fandom for a while there. I'm glad it's over.
That explains everything about the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's not a, like, that's the thing with, like, Earth's Mightiest Heroes versus, like, Justice League. We've talked about this several times. Because that's the comparison to make.
But, like, I also do agree with that. I think I know where you're going. Like, this episode is kind of open-ended, even though it's the ending of an arc, whereas Justice League would very much wrap it up in a nice little bow, and it would feel like a complete piece.
Because that's the, like, again, this is stemming from, like, the cultural mindset between Marvel and DC. DC is a lot happier to go, like, all right, here is a story, beginning, middle, end, and then the next story happens.
Whereas Marvel wants you to keep coming back. They want you to always have a hook in for the next story.
Yeah. Like, and I've been seeing, okay, every once in a while you see,
hey, Tim.
Every once in a while you see people going like, oh, comic books are so hard to get into. Where do you even start? And then people say like, and they get suggested like, oh, here's this book, and this book, and you can read those. And it's like, yeah, but where do I start? And it's just like, that's the wrong way to read comics.
You grab the coolest cover you can find / afford.
Because here's the thing. People are looking at comic books like you would read a book. There's a beginning and a middle and an end, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you need to look at comics are, they're professional wrestling.
Yeah.
There's no
people think of comic books like a TV show. They go like, oh, where's episode 1? I want to watch it in order so I can understand the full story. You're never gonna do that. There's too fucking much.
I have, like, what? 50% of the Marvel Wiki in my brain, and I don't even know everything.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at some articles while you were watching the episode in the call earlier of just like lists of Supergirl costumes, and you know, like a big facet of my character online is that like, oh, I'm a big Supergirl fanboy. I know everything about Supergirl. Over half the costumes I saw in some of these articles, I was like, what the fuck is this from?
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes.
And I'm not saying people who are wanting episode 1s, like Buster's saying, like some characters is very easy. It's like, oh yeah, you want Kamala Khan?
Mm-hmm.
Read Miss Marvel #1. That's it. You start there and you just pick up any appearance she has.
You want Gwenpool, Miles to a lesser extent. I think Jaime Reyes can still work in that way.
Robbie Reyes definitely can.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of more DC characters, but the sucky thing about DC is a lot of their newer characters just don't catch on. Like even if their first series is really beloved, they don't like continue on and become well known enough that you'll hear somebody say like, everybody that read Green Lantern Far Sector told me like, oh, this is the best Green Lantern book in years. You got to check it out. I never hear anybody ask about that Green Lantern now that series is over.
Yeah. Like, and DC also has, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but they have the habit of doing an event and introducing 15 brand new characters. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You have Invasion, you have the Blood one with the weird spine people.
They're doing it right now with all the characters that came in post Lazarus Planet.
Post Lazarus Planet.
Buster in the chat. Anyway, y'all should read Spirit World.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about. Lazarus Planet happens. Spirit World and the
City Boy, good.
All those kind of things. Like they are directly linked to a big event that's just like that's partially done to just go like, here's a bunch of brand new characters. Which ones do you like?
Also, I like what Tim's saying in the chat here. I feel like comics could really benefit from bringing back the prestige format where it's just a longer, self contained story for a bit more. The only thing we really have like that, because there used to be like Marvel and DC would each have lines of graphic novels going.
Mhm.
The only thing we have right now that's really kind of like that is DC's Black Label. And even then, most of those are monthly series. They're all mini series, but they're ongoing series and then they wrap up.
I mean, that's how they did like a lot of Batman graphic novels back in the day, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I under
Well,
like
Legends of the Dark Knight was literally just
graphic
a
novel
graphic
factory.
novel generating machine.
Yeah.
I think was the idea.
And I agree with that. And but then you have the fucking dumb editorial problem where they're just like, for DC, I think it's like what do we do? Like, we want to do that, sure, but like that's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And they're afraid of pushing boundaries anymore, like they did in the past. With they like Year One was a boundary pushing hit book.
Well, the last time they pushed a boundary, they got made fun of on a late night show, and then
Yeah.
they backpedaled like crazy. So,
But like, here's the thing. Fucking Peacemaker Tries Hard. That's going to be a great graphic novel to just show.
oh yeah,
And all of them, they all made fun of the Bat Dick.
yeah.
Because the first Black Label book was Batman Damned, which had a full frontal nude shot of Bruce Wayne.
And you can't even like really see his penis. It's kind of in shadow. You can see a little outline, and people were like, "Oh my god, Batman's dick is in an official DC comic. This is crazy."
And the problem with Marvel is they're so beholden to the idea that they need to stick to the continuity in canon that it's almost impossible to get them to do anything else.
The last time they really did something like that, I think, is like all the color books. You know, Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow.
Yeah. And even then, they're technically supposed to be in canon, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
But then you also have what ifs like Spider Shadow.
Yeah. And like that's the thing is Zdarsky tried to bring that stuff back for a hot minute. He tried to bring back What If as more of a prestige miniseries type thing. He did the life story thing, which just didn't catch on, even though his one was amazing.
Yeah, I think here's the thing: it would have caught on more if the second one wasn't that Fantastic Four book.
Mm-hmm.
Which I liked. I liked it well enough, but Jesus, it was weird. Because
has anything ever stayed to canon? That really depends on your definition of canon, because like Marvel, technically everything's in canon, but there's tons of retcons on retcons over the years. DC has rebooted a few times, and they have all these offshoot universes and weird sublines and stuff like that. So like it technically everything's in canon. It's just a question of what it's in canon with.
Yeah. New Animal Man or Swamp Thing, God forbid, Trenchcoat. Yeah. Like that's another thing. They're afraid of the legacy that's left behind. Like you have to have nuts of fucking steel to go like, all right, I'm gonna do a brand new Hellblazer. Right?
I don't know what you're talking about with that reminding you of the Boruto fandom nightmare, but I also think I don't want to know.
Love indie comics, they do their own thing. Yeah, and that's the other thing. People go like, oh, comic books are hard to get into. No, American superheroes are quote unquote hard to get into.
Even then, there's a lot of independent superhero books you can recommend. Invincible, Tomboy, Tom Strong, Astro City. All of those are great.
And even then, if you do you like manga? Guess what? There's a bunch of comics that just are manga-like.
Hell, a few years ago, well, actually, it's probably more than a few years ago now, but there was a really popular DC book a while back that was basically just DC going like, hey, what if we did a book set in our universe that's kind of like a manga premise? It was called Gotham Academy, and it was just these two girls who lived at a Gotham boarding school, solving mysteries and occasionally interacting with Batman characters, like Damian was in an issue.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Zaya. It's like it's not even like the big two in America anymore. It is really it's the big four or five, depending on how you want to count it. Because it is
Yeah.
Marvel, DC, IDW,
Image.
Image, and then depending on who you ask, it's either Dark Horse or Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. I want so badly for American comics to bring back the anthology magazine.
Have you, Tim, have I told you about Night Terrors?
Yeah, God.
I'm not even reading that.
I've heard people like it for the premises.
Yeah, like there's certain subseries that look interesting to me, like the Zatanna, the Poison Ivy, and the Joker ones. I've all heard good things about. I just don't want to get entrenched in that event right now.
It's also just how do you sell these comics to a wider audience? Yeah.
Yeah, monthly reminder: comic books should be sold in grocery stores again.
But like, here's the thing: like, why doesn't America have? Why isn't heavy metal in every single grocery store? Why doesn't America have its own 2000 AD? Why doesn't America have our own Shonen Jump?
Because we have always had this weird attitude to certain things, not just comics, but toys, video games, animation. Of there's always going to be that certain sect of people in our culture, in this country, who say that's for kids. That there's certain areas where that just shouldn't be, because that's for kids and that's for weirdos.
Yeah, fuck Amazon for what they did to Comixology, but those was also like, I think we did have Shonen Jump. It flopped because everyone thought anime was cringe. Yeah, but I'm more saying like, why doesn't America have our own like, why isn't like Oni making?
DC tried to do something like that with the Walmart Giants for a minute there, but
they weren't put with the magazines. They were put with the fucking collectibles because Walmart's a dumbass.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, this has been like a 45-minute fucking tangent about how messed up comic culture is in the country right now, but
yeah, it's time for
news?
some news. It's time for some news, buddies.
Yeah.
It's just every once in a while the frustrations bubble over of this like, guys, please stop saying comics are dying. Please stop saying comics are hard to get into. Please stop this. It's not.
Oddly enough, like when it comes to the whole comics are dying thing, I really agree with Linkara. I don't think the industry is dying, but I don't think it does a lot to help itself out.
No, and here's the thing, comics are selling. You just got to look at the right sales figures. It's like, yeah, trades are selling.
Yeah.
Digital trades have been selling well.
And the problem consistently in modern comics, business-wise, is Marvel and DC do not count trade sales numbers to determine the success of a book. They look at the individual issue sales. There was a thing in the 2010s where like a lot of fan favorite books would get canceled right after the first trade came out, and a bunch of people would be like, yo, what the fuck? I just read the first trade and I really like this. You're telling me it's over already? I'm only going to get one more of these? What's going on? Like, yeah. Unstoppable Wasp was a victim of that.
And I don't know if they're rectifying that. Because books have gotten longer. They haven't been canceling books as fast.
Mm-hmm. Did we see the Transformers comic? I didn't see that, but also we kind of like don't cover comic trailers on here anymore because it's more often than not just here is the art set to some generic music.
Yeah. And usually we've talked about the book before, a little bit before that, with the original solicitation.
Yeah. It's stagnant, not dying, just the same. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that.
Yeah, and it's also just like manga is becoming this bigger and bigger industry, so people notice it more. New 52, him so bad he got canceled mid-arc. Ooh. But hey, time for some news. And real quick, just to reiterate for the people who may not know, currently SAG and WGA are striking. SAG has asked influencers not to promote any piece of media that is struck media, and we consider ourselves influencers of some degree, and we want to basically stand in solidarity with SAG and WGA. So we are not going to be talking about any contemporary adaptation or adaptation news. So instead, it's time for some striking
Screen
news.
adaptation news, because we do
Screen
have
adaptation.
a different adaptation at the end of this news segment. But
Yeah.
on with the strike news.
Tons of manga, very little comics. Yeah. But first with some striking news. Arrow, Stephen Amell, joins the picket lines after controversial strike comments. He
So
got
I don't think we talked about this originally.
No, we did. We mentioned it. It's just like, man, why are you being goofy?
I remember us talking about Twitter. I don't remember us talking about it on the show, but
Yeah.
Stephen Amell said something to the extent of, and this was a few weeks ago now, so I don't remember the exact quote, but it was something like, "I think striking is a bad negotiating tactic, and it looks petty."
Yeah.
And everybody was just like, "You dumb motherfucker! You played one of the most liberal comic book characters of all time, and you don't know why striking is a good thing for your industry right now?" And everybody called him out, and he tried to do like an apology interview thing where he then said like, "Oh, I wish that was private comments. I wish those hadn't been made public." And people just called him an asshole again. And so now he's eating a big old piece of humble pie, and he just said, "Fine, I'll go out and strike."
Yeah, he got called by his representative at the union.
Mhm.
I don't wouldn't say it's him being sad. It's very much him being sheepish of, yeah, I know. Yeah.
I said a dumb thing. Here's me trying to do better. And you know what? Good on him for trying to do better.
Yeah. So you know what? Let the man learn. People can always learn.
This man played Casey Jones. He played the Casey Jones that's a cop, though.
Yeah, that's wrong. Casey Jones would always be like a labor guy. He would always go team up with the blue collar boys.
In my opinion, Casey Jones should be like more left than Oliver Queen. He should be one of the most left characters in comics, just because he's a guy who literally just puts on a hockey mask and starts dishing out vigilante justice because he's so angry at the world.
Genuinely, there's just a lot of things that there's a lot of characters that should be a lot more left presenting in comics, but can't because of the Overton window. Casey in the IDW comics is like the coolest motherfucker. Yeah,
I gotta read the IDW.
I got
comics.
to like issue 50, and then it was just like, all right, I've binged a lot of this. I need a break, and that was a couple years ago.
I'm working for Mirage Run right now. Now, when I'm done with that, if I'm still in a turtle mood, I'll move to IDW, I think.
But in continuing striking news, overworked and underpaid VFX Marvel workers vote to unionize. Now,
it's happening!
Hold on, real quick. We need to clarify something because the headlines are just going, they're unionizing. They are not creating a union. They are voting to join a union.
Yeah, they're voting to join the
ISATE, I think it is.
Yeah.
IATSE.
Which is like the American Workers Union or something like that?
No, it's specifically a theater union, but it's behind the scenes stuff. That's what it is. Like,
oh, it's like crew members union.
Yeah. Hold on. You know what? Let's do some labor research real quick.
And it's also like, I remember I did skim this article again tonight when I was putting the news links together. This article is also sure to point out that it's not it's not like every VFX artist that has ever worked on a Marvel movie is going to benefit from this. It's like the core 50 people that they have oversee every movie's VFX voted to unionize.
And it is the union behind entertainment. That's their kind of thing. These are the behind the scenes people. These are the people who build sets, who run sound, who operate lights, who weld things, who make the props, that's what these guys
walk
do.
Through the VFX farm every day and go, yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, we need to clean that up a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good.
Hold on.
And
what is
here's the thing. I'm not saying like
international
those people.
It's International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. It's not just America.
Mm.
It's international. Holy shit. Okay, hold on.
So the thing with this is if these people do actually unionize and Disney chooses to keep working with them rather than dump them and just start a new company, which is a thing they could do if they want to be particularly scuzzy, um, they them getting into this union will mean anybody who works under them will get these union benefits. So this will still help out
mhm.
all the people just sitting at a computer rendering out 5 frames a day.
And there's also the other benefit of Disney already works with this union.
Mm-hmm.
They already have an established relationship with this specific union because this is a union that runs all the Broadway shit that
Yeah.
Disney works with. This is the ones that does all the theater stuff, like the building. Like this is a great strategic thing for them to do.
Yeah, so if
Because
Disney chooses to dump these VFX workers,
this
they're
union can,
ruining this relationship.
yeah. So like on you
It is
VFX.
It is essentially a checkmate that
Yeah.
they haven't officially voted. They're going to be voting Monday after next Monday, week from tomorrow. And but 50 out of 52 employees have declared they are in favor of unionization. So it's more than likely going to happen.
Yeah, hold on. We'll just read some about this union because if I were to join a union for like theater stuff for what I do, this would be the union I join. There's like a local chapter like 2 hours north of me. So like today the IATSE members work in all forms of live theater, motion picture and television production, trade shows and exhibitions, television broadcasts, and concerts, as well as the equipment and construction shops that support all these areas of the entertainment industry. IATSE represents virtually all of the behind-the-scenes workers in crafts ranging from motion picture animator to theater usher. This is a big fucking union.
And here's the thing. If this happens, it sets such an incredible precedent because in the entire history of filmmaking, no VFX people have been in any union. It's never been a thing. And not just VFX, but also special effects.
No, special effects have a union. That's why they moved to computers because they were unionized.
Oh, I could have sworn that was a thing where like a lot of stuff in the 70s happened the way it was because there was no union.
Well, there wasn't a union, then they unionized.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting my history mixed up. But basically, if these people get in, then anyone can get in. And so you're going to see a massive shift in the way things are done in production schedules for major productions going forward from this, I think.
Yeah.
This is kind of a watershed moment for the entire film industry.
And like here's the thing. It's not getting reported the way like this is like smart, intelligent. It's not just like, oh, they're tired and want better pay. No, they're teaming up with a union that would basically force everybody to work with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And once there's a precedent of VFX artists in that union, who says that the people working at Universal and WB and all them don't vote to unionize and join the IATSE?
Mm-hmm.
It's happening, buds.
It's all coming together.
And we have another piece of adaptation news. TMNT, The Last Ronin, we have a trailer for the game.
Yeah, so this game has been rumored / soft confirmed all year. I think like back in March, I first heard rumblings that they were making a Last Ronin game. But this is the official confirmation of THQ Nordic put out a teaser trailer that is honestly like the best teaser trailer I've seen for anything in years, because it is literally a fucking teaser trailer. It's not, here's a full trailer we're calling a teaser trailer. It's not, here's a big cinematic, whoa, crazy story sequence that is only just going to play before the game when you boot it up. It's legitimately like this artsy little thing that if you have read the comic or at least know the story, you're like, oh shit, they're referencing that. Oh shit, they're referencing that. Oh man, here we go.
Yeah.
I loved this trailer,
It's good.
and I'm legitimately excited for this game. I don't know video games all that well. I don't know what THQ Nordic's track record is, but I've got my fingers crossed this is going to be a good game.
They're above average. I would say THQ Nordic has been above average, not excellent, but not middling. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
In fact, I don't think you watch many video game teaser trailers.
I don't. I used to be back when I didn't have a lot of money for video games. I used to be that guy that would watch all the cinematic trailers just because I thought they were cool media experiences on their own. But I actually haven't watched a lot of video game trailers probably since like 2018, 2017.
Yeah,
Um,
and honestly, Buster, that's how I'm thinking this game's probably gonna play. THQ does the Darksiders. I think it's gonna play like
Hmm.
Darksiders.
yeah. My hope is this will be like the Spider-Man PS4 or Batman Arkham of Ninja Turtle games.
Yeah, that's the big problem with like properties like Turtles and Fantastic Four, because it's like, yeah, you kind of have to get all four of them in. What can we do? Beat them
Oh, there's
up.
literally a story where three out of the four are dead. Let's just do that.
But like, TMNT Shredder's Revenge is cool though. Yeah, I'm not
Mhm.
saying beat 'em ups are bad, Buster. I'm just saying like beat 'em ups are really good when you have like multiple characters you need
Mhm.
to focus on.
I'm also confirmed as not being big into beat 'em ups. So,
Combat wise, like God of War. If it's combat
ooh,
wise, like Dad of War, that'd be cool. I can totally see that for Last Ronin.
hell yeah.
Especially with, oh my god. Okay, part of the things with Last Ronin is the last turtle has all of their
Mhm.
weapon switching.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Also, like part of the teaser trailer is there's a lot of allusions to how the other turtles died in the story. So I'm wondering if there's going to be like flashback levels where you play through those scenes as those turtles.
That'd be interesting, but there's also like the plot. Remember, the plot element in the book is
Yeah,
the
the
other.
war's a big influence.
Hell yeah! But all the other turtles are talking to the last turtle. What if
Mhm.
that's like? What if like that's his side characters and who he's talking to while he's
I
doing
have read The
action?
Last Ronin. I read it a couple months ago,
I'm
actually.
being cagey with things, so it's
I'm
just not
answering
spoiled.
Buster in the chat.
Yeah. That's why I'm being cagey with it though. But hey, guess
Mm.
what? We have a brand new printing of All Star Superman and Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. We were just talking about DC and Marvel need to have these regularly out, and these are perfect examples of that.
And these printings are happening literally because these books have been selling out consistently at comic stores ever since James Gunn announced the movie for Woman of Tomorrow and his Superman movie. And somebody asked like, "Hey, what are the Superman stories that influenced your movie?" And he said All Star and a couple others.
All Star
Um,
Superman is great.
yeah, so we're getting an absolute All Star Superman edition, and we're getting finally a hardcover deluxe edition of Woman of Tomorrow. I am so excited about this because one of the number one things anybody who read Woman of Tomorrow as it was coming out was it is a goddamn shame that this is only 8 issues and it's probably just going to get a regular trade paperback.
Yeah,
It needs get your fucking ass. I'm going to pre-order this when it goes up for solicitation.
hell yeah. But hey, it's good. We're getting them. They're back in print. They're doing all that stuff.
I win. I consistently win.
You win all day, bitch. We got new previews for new Werewolf by Night series. Look at that.
Yeah, it's not a series. This article is a bit misleading. They're doing a Halloween one shot that is going to be the resurrection of Jack Russell, and it's also going to heavily feature Elsa Bloodstone. Because hey, did you see that MCU thing?
I don't mind it. It looks really good. It looks solid. And plus, hey, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
Elsa
lot of
Bloodstone.
a lot of the Marvel announcements this week are writers I've not heard of before, so I don't have like a hard, "Ooh, this might be good. I don't know about this" on any of these. But I mean, the art looks really nice.
Yeah, and if you played her in Ultimate Alliance 3, then yeah, she's about the same. She's rough tumble monster hunter girl.
Yeah. She's literally just what if Yoko Littner was a Marvel character that hunted monsters.
Yeah. Uh, she's good. She's solid. The
Mhm.
MCU adaptations is pretty solid too.
Yeah. We got to see more of her though, I think.
Yeah, but like it got the spirit right, where she's like, yeah, she's rough tumble. She doesn't take shit.
Mhm.
I do like how they're doing the black and white thing.
Oh yeah, that's really cool actually. I hadn't seen that yet cuz I was just grabbing links at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I should probably, because I normally forget to do this. I need
Oh.
to. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, I even meant to friggin' ask you when we went into news. I just forgot because we got on that whole comics tangent.
Yeah, the comics balancing looks nutty. It looks good. I like how it looks like. Can you see my stuff?
I can't.
Okay, cool. I like how it looks like. Oh god, there we go. Like pencils.
Hmm.
Like it is inked, but it has that very graphite feel.
Hmm.
Okay. Next thing, Marvel announces new Sentry.
Yeah, there's going to be a Century miniseries happening in the next couple of months. I love this article. Is like, oh, it's ahead of Steven Yeun's MCU debut. We still don't have confirmation that he's playing the Century. That's just like the perceived rumor in the popular culture. But
I don't even know who Steven Yeun is.
he's an actor who got cast in Thunderbolts, and everybody went, "Oh, I think he's playing the Century."
Let me look him up. Who is this man? Oh, I can see Sentry.
Yeah, but
He'd be a good Sentry. I like. I've seen him and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, but the Century has been dead in comic continuity for quite a while, and so the gimmick of this book is there's going to be a new Century, and who will it be? And apparently, it's going to be bouncing back and forth between a bunch of different characters, like Jessica Jones and Misty Knight.
But the Sentry isn't totally not Superman. Sentry is what if Superman also had bipolar disorder.
But he's also like Marvel's second totally not Superman because Bendis just didn't want to use the first totally not Superman.
I mean, for the story that Bendis was telling, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because no, Bendis wasn't. Oh, he was also in Dope. But what's the other thing I'm about to say?
You said
who wrote
Bendis didn't invent him? I thought Bendis did.
No, who wrote the original Century run?
I can't remember that. I just know like Century had a lot to do with new Avengers early
Yeah,
on.
no, that he was brought into that, but not made in that. He was not invented for that. Robert Reynolds. The Century 2001. Yeah, he died in King in Black.
Mm-hmm.
Who wrote him? Who created this man? Writer Paul Jenkins. Paul Jenkins made him.
There's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Yeah, but originally the Century was just like he's there's a darkness inside him, and he didn't want to hurt people with it. So
yeah, because like isn't his mortal enemy like
himself.
Also a psychosis?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He basically asks Mr. Fantastic, "Hey, could you erase my mind and erase everyone's mind about me and as the Century, so that the world can move on?"
Mm-hmm.
And he might have been World War Hulk. He's been around in a lot of different stuff. Yeah, this is who's the bad guy. He's the Void, and he lives inside of the Century. He is the Century. It's not like a separate character thing, or like a separate entity, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, who gives a shit about this guy? He's dead and he's not coming back. Somebody's taking on his mantle. That's the point of the fucking book.
Yeah. Next up, we also get a new Spider-Man woman solo.
Spider-Man woman, my favorite character.
Spider-Woman.
It's a new Jessica Drew book that is going to be spinning out of the impending gang war event.
It's also fucking spinning out of the recent Spider-Man issue.
Yeah, because like I don't know very much about comic Jessica Drew, aside from like the handful of times she's been controversial in the last 10 years. But But I skimmed the article, and apparently she was dead, but she very recently came back, and she's going to be a fixture in Gang War, and then she's going to get this book.
Like legit, the last Spider-Man book is several short stories. I read through some of them. There was one with Spider-Woman where she's beating up people, just going like, "Where's my baby?"
Oh, delightful.
Yeah. Yeah. Marvel editor Tom Brevoort confirms he's taking over the X-Men titles.
Yeah, so Tom Brevoort is almost a Marvel lifer. Like, he goes way back. He was a writer in like the 80s and 90s, and then in the early 2000s he became the line-wide editor for Avengers, which basically just means he makes sure all the Avengers books and all the Avengers character books stay somewhat aligned with each other.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be moving over to doing that for X-Men. I think because that was Bendis's or Hickman's job, rather. That was Hickman's job for quite a long time, and then Hickman left, and people took over his books, but nobody took over his editing position. It was more so we're all just working it out amongst ourselves, and I think Marvel might have gone, yeah, but we want a guy who can answer to us, though.
We want a guy who also like sees what you're doing and can point you in the direction that we kind of want everything to make sure it stays aligned.
Mm-hmm. So that's what he's going to be doing now, and I mean, Avengers has been hit or miss over like the last however long his tenure was. I think he took over around the same time Bendis came on, but I mean, like, his job is literally just to make sure things stay consistent with each other. It's not a mark of story quality.
Yeah, and plus, hey, he's done good stuff. He's a solid creative person. Mm-hmm. And plus, the X-Men titles, they are the arc we're in is wrapping up. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, disassembled, but there is no surrender. There is several there are good Avengers stories in his run and tenure.
Mm.
So.
Oh damn! I didn't know you went on a rampage earlier this month, Tim.
But yeah, on to the next news. Thanos declares war on the Illuminati in a new Marvel series.
Yep.
Sure.
It's time for the yearly Thanos mini, everybody. This time he's going to be fighting the Illuminati, except it's not the original Illuminati. It's them plus some other characters. It's going to be Iron Man, Blue Marvel, Emma Frost, the Hulk, Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Strange, and is that like the fucking Phantom? I don't know who that Ghostface person is.
It's fucking Death.
Oh, that's Lady Death? Okay.
Is a DBZ charging mode. Oh my god.
It's either that or he's like taking the world's most insane crap.
That's Ghostface Killer.
Ghostface Killer in Marvel, let's go.
I mean, hey, he is Tony Stark's.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. But no, yeah, this is going to be written by somebody I've never heard of before, but the art looks really nice, and it's an interesting premise. So if you're one of those people who just can't get enough Thanos, i.e. Jim Starlin, read this.
Christopher Cantwell.
Oh, shit, no, okay. I remembered seeing Christopher Cantwell worked on something when I was looking at the news links. No, Christopher Cantwell is good people. He was writing that Iron Man run you really liked, Boingo.
Yeah, and he just finished up the Hellcat run.
Yeah. So this is his next project after that. Okay, so this will probably be good.
Oh yeah, no, I can do okay, cool. Christopher Cantwell does pretty good stuff. Marvel teases. Oh fuck, we got to talk about.
Here we go. I've been waiting all week. I've been waiting all fucking week to talk about this shit.
Marvel teases Spider-Man Reign 2 coming as the most notorious Spider-Man story ever told. Jesus Christ.
For those of you who aren't aware, and I cannot believe I finally get to say this on the show, Spider-Man Reign is the future story where Mary Jane is dead because of Spider-Man's radioactive spunk.
Jesus.
Comic books!
Here's the thing. It's true, but that's also that line is just poorly written. Because what Peter is saying is I was radioactive, and being around me in general made you sick.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
But
just
that's not how everybody interpreted it.
but it's just the way
Fucking type in the chat. Me, I want more stories like Batman Year One. Marvel. Oh, loud and clear, man.
Jesus fucking Christ. It's
I don't think they've confirmed like when or how this is coming out. If it's even the original creative team, I would hope it is. But like, it's literally they just put out this image, just like here, fart, here you go, folks, get hype.
hey, guess
And I
what?
was like,
This was one of the fucking images in that Spider-Man book.
It was.
Yes.
So they dumped it. Yeah, let's go. We're reading this on the show.
Fuck.
This on the show. You can't fucking. We have to hold hands and dive into this abyss together, buddy.
Fucking hell. Fuck you. Fine. Jesus Christ.
I like how you didn't even try and put up a fight.
Motherfucker, I'm the one who voluntarily ran and they read Amazing Spider-Man for weeks.
Well, here's the thing. This is going to have a defined beginning, middle, and end. It's not an ongoing terror of me just going, oh, when is this guy going to get off the book already? That being said, the original story isn't bad. It's just fucking weird. And it also ends in a way that's like, okay, where do you go from here? Which is why this is so exciting. It's like, what the fuck are they going to do? What the fuck are they going to do?
I have no fucking idea. Dark Knights of Steel Batman teaser from the multiverse.
Boy news. Todd's doing the Dark Knights of Steel designs. That's happening, or at least the Batman is.
Good at being a story nobody asked for. Here's the thing. Marvel editors asked for that story.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted...
It was literally, we need our own Dark Knight Returns. Why haven't we done that with Spider-Man yet? He's like our Batman. We got to do that. And then that story happened, and it was a joke.
Yeah. I would say this toy is boring, mainly because this is the book Tom Taylor's been doing that you've been enjoying, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, this book is fucking great. I can't remember if it's even over now or not. I think there's like one more issue, and Tom Taylor's just been dragging his feet on that whole series. But yeah, it's a good book. It's really cool characters, alternate character designs. What if the DC universe happened in medieval times? I think it's worth reading, at least so far, and hopefully we get more than just Batman.
Spider-Man is like our Batman is the part where they lose me. Right, it's Daredevil. And they have 1001 Daredevils Dark Knight Returns.
Okay, but you and I have had this argument for fucking ever. Spider-Man is their Batman in terms of being a popular character that everybody knows if they don't know anybody else from that company.
And here's the thing. They have their Spider-Man equivalent to what would the appropriate DC story would have been. It's called Spider-Man Life Story. That's basically Superman, All-Star Superman.
But that's not in continuity, though. That's not set in the far future. That's like its own version of the Spider-Man universe.
Neither is All-Star Superman.
Not even my words. Not even my words.
Jesus fucking Christ. Hey, we got some Marvel Legends figures for... Hold on, dude. We got big... yeah, we got a lot of photos. Here's some Marvel Legends. Everybody look at these.
Yep, we got the official photography and pre-orders for the latest MCU / What If / Disney Plus / Fuck You wave. This is the next wave that's showing up at retail. We've known about it for a long time now. It's just... Here's a bunch of things people wanted, but we couldn't get to right on time from the last few MCU things. And the Build-A-Figure is just a repaint of the Hydra Stomper with a new head. This Goliath design is from an episode of What If that hasn't come out yet. I think it's literally just what if Goliath had been the Ant-Man of the MCU instead of Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's Agatha, because everybody asked for an Agatha at the time, but now nobody cares, and also have been making fun of this figure because it looks like a friggin' traffic cone and the neck is kind of weird. And I'm like, what did you expect?
Yeah, Blue Goliath looks neat. It's fine for an Agatha toy. When are they gonna make new hot Agatha toy?
The comic Hot Agatha way.
Yeah,
I am wondering if they're gonna get to that before they do classic Agatha.
that would
Because I
be
almost
hilarious.
want them to do that just to see all the classic collectors getting pissed off again.
We got Nick Fury. Look at this man. Look at this Nick
Yep.
Fury man.
Secret Invasion Nick Fury. Looks like a traffic cone, but whatever.
Yeah. Look at that Nick Fury. We got
Talos.
Talos.
He's got his scroll bits.
Yeah.
Good civilian body, that.
Yeah. You can do. Wait a second. Hold on. No, it's just a weird belt buckle. I was about to say that belt buckle looks like the Captain Marvel logo. Yeah. And we got Gamora.
I think this is like Tyrant Gamora or something like that. This is also from a What If episode that hasn't come out yet. But this design has also been on What If promotional material dating back to like the first poster.
Warrior Gamora.
Mm.
Yeah, this line is like the oh shit, we've had this figure, we need to fucking put it out there.
And here's finally an MCU Kingpin.
Yeah. Now that we actually own him and he's not on Netflix, we can totally make a figure of him.
Mm-hmm. By the by, I was listening to the latest OSP detailed diatribe, and Red had the fucking gall, to call this appearance of Kingpin in the Hawkeye show watered down. Tell me you haven't read comics without telling me you haven't read comics.
Jesus Christ. Remember Thanos, who committed genocide against half the universe? He also has a helicopter that says Thanos Copter on it.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
scroll privilege. I love that, Tim. Thank you.
Is What If Season 2 ever going to come out? Yeah, eventually.
I think it's supposed to come out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a lot of things that just need to get out.
The MCU makeup wave.
Yeah. Hasbro, Marvel Legends, Deluxe Spider-Man, No Way Home, Dr. Octopus figure coming.
Yeah, somebody on Instagram found massive quotes a new trench coat sculpt that looks like it's for an MCU or Sam Raimi Dr. Octopus, and obviously we got that tease at SDCC, and people are going like, "Oh, hey, the figure's happening." Now, we've had a previous report via leaked listings that this was going to be a Build-A-Figure, but this leaker alleged that they think it's going to be a deluxe release. So we'll have to see how that pans out whenever the Marvel Legends guys decide to do an official reveal of all this stuff, which, at this point, I'd be willing to put down money unless we get a Marvel Legends stream this month. Probably they're going to give us all of those No Way Home Legends as like their big centerpiece reveal for PulseCon this year.
Yeah. I was trying to tell if this piece was like 3D printed, like it's a prototype thing. No, I think that's just texture.
Yeah.
I think that's just texture.
Mm-hmm. It's a decent sculpt. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the body around it. Side note, while we're on this though, I did open my animated series Doc Ock today.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of underwhelmed by that figure.
Really?
He's really back heavy, and like even when you get the arms all the way forward, he still kind of wants to fall over on his back. It's hard to pose him in a way I was not expecting.
That's understandable. I still think the costume looks cool because like animated Doc Ock is one of the best Doc Ock costumes.
Oh yeah, it's a great design.
That's the one with animated Aunt May.
Yeah, who is literally just a traffic cone. There's nothing you can do with her.
Oh man, I was just thinking, when are we gonna get white suit Doc Ock with just like a giant curly Q mess of fucking legs?
That's the one they gotta do. They gotta do that one next. Give me Doc Ock on the suit body.
Doc Ock. Give me Eric Larson Doc Ock.
Yeah.
But also from Mondo, we got some figures.
Yeah, PowerCon was going on this weekend, which is largely like an independent toy company show. Some of the more high end, more collector specific companies do go to this show though, and that's why Mondo was there, and they did a bunch of reveals for their Marvel 1/6 scale line, which, as a reminder, is basically Hot Toys scale figures of comic and animated designs that are more in the style of Marvel Legends. Um, now, this article, you're going to see they showed off a lot of different stuff. And most of it does look pretty good and pretty interesting, but also just very in line with what they've been doing. So I don't really have a lot to say about it, except that's a chunky looking juggernaut.
Yeah, it's a vinyl toy. The Juggernaut's a vinyl toy.
Hmm.
But yeah, Rogue X-Men. We've been getting a lot of the X-Men animated, so getting Rogue
The
is good.
docs to reveal Mask of Phantasm is like a 30-year-old movie, Buster.
Fuck making sets in 1/6 scale.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I don't blame you, Tim. That is ridiculous.
We got Cyclops, so look at this boy, Cyclops.
Nice that he comes with his jacket.
Comes with his jacket, comes with multiple fucking laser effects. This is
Optic
good.
blast.
I'm the Cyclops fan here. I get to call him whatever the fuck I want.
It is a good movie.
We got animated Spider-Man.
Yeah, love how this guy seems to have turned out. All the hands and web effects and a few like oddball accessories you could possibly want. If you're gonna get just like a evergreen 1/6 scale Spider-Man, this is probably the way to go, I think.
And the symbiote.
Yep, they're doing black suit.
Yeah.
Just like, yep, it's coming, guys.
Man, that's neat stuff. It's neat stuff. It's cool. It's neat. It's rad.
Yeah.
No, you know what's also rad?
What else is rad?
Well, we got through all the news.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, it's all news.
So it's comic time. It's comic time on the comic podcast.
It is comics time on the comics podcast. You ready to talk about comics?
I sure am.
I thought you were back.
Fuck you.
Have any of you read Arcade Kings? It's on my to-read list. I haven't gotten to it yet.
Literally, I haven't thought of that since the last time you mentioned it to us, Buster.
I read issue 14 of Stillwater.
Hey, the water is still watering, huh?
Yeah. This is just fucking going places.
Mm-hmm. Are you caught up now, by the way?
It's there's 18 issues right now. I'm on issue 14.
Oh boy.
So I'm pretty close.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's good. Solid. They expand the town, they do a bunch of shit. The it's hard to get into it without talking about the entirety of the book. The entirety of the series. It's good if you want weird. It's not horror, but if you want something spooky in the way that like Twin Peaks is spooky, this is what you want.
Yeah, because for any new listeners who haven't seen you talk about this book before, the premise is essentially a guy goes back to his hometown, and it turns out it's a town where nobody ages, and weird shit ensues from there, right?
Yeah. Well, it's more of like he doesn't even know it's his hometown. It's like he gets a letter saying like, "Hey, you had a family member here, and you need to. They died. You need to check his will." And it's like, okay, sure. And he goes there. And now he's like, now people in the town think he's a messiah, and he's not, but he's using that to like fight against the assholes. He's like, come on, you wouldn't hurt Jesus, would you? And it's just like, you fucking...
I'm picturing like those anti-piracy ads. You wouldn't punch Jesus, would you?
You want to know the fucked up part about those PSAs was?
Yeah.
They pirated that music to make them.
I think I've heard that before, but that is still so ridiculous.
Yeah, Stillwater, it's good. If you like Chip Zdarsky, it is really good Chip Zdarsky writing. You wouldn't download them. What is the premise of Shin Megami Tensei? But if you like Chip Zdarsky and you want to see him do horror and more dramatic writing, this is a great place to see it. You read Max Rebo.
Yep, This is part of an ongoing series of Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary celebration one shots that Marvel is doing, and this is literally just the events of Return of the Jedi that take place on Tatooine from Max Rebo's perspective, which is literally just like it's just a guy repeatedly going, "Oh, that's fucked up, but I'm getting paid, whatever."
That's
and
perfect.
and then it ends with him fucking getting the job at the place where we see him when he cameos in Book of Boba Fett.
Fucking great.
Yep.
Fucking Max Rebo, everybody.
Yeah. It's cute, but like it's I would not say it's essential. Even if you're one of those if you're somebody who like me who's like, yeah, Max Rebo's fucking cool. I like Max Rebo. You don't need to read this.
Here's the thing, you don't need to see anything with Max Rebo. He's just a fun alien who plays the piano.
Yeah, he's just a little guy.
And as a series, he's just more little guy.
That being said, Hasbro, where's my Black Series Max Rebo already?
I do like how the cover looks like an old Kenner toy packaging.
Mm-hmm.
Content for the sake of content.
Yep, that's a lot of Star Wars.
I read Red Goblin.
Oh, what's Normie up to this week, that little scamp?
How to put this best? He is currently suffering through a depressive episode, and the symbiote's going like, hey, you have sad brain chemicals. Your sad brain chemicals will make me angry. Yeah, his name's Normie.
Yeah, fucking Harry Osborn's son, Norman Osborn's grandson, is named Normie Osborn.
No, he's named Norman Osborn the second, but they call him Normie as a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Random ass characters that work there. Yes. Mm-hmm. That should be an ongoing series. But basically, he's in a depressive funk, and the symbiote's going like, hey, your sad brain chemicals will make me angry, and I don't want to help, and I don't want to be out there and hurt people. I don't want to hurt people. And he's like, that's fair and understandable. We'll fucking deal with it. And like eventually, like his best friend's getting kidnapped by Goblin Nation because they want to do like a hostage situation. So he goes like, fuck, I need to be a superhero. And the symbiote's going, no, we're not in a good place mentally, buddy. So they do, but he goes out of control. And guess who saves him? Miles Morales.
Oh, okay.
So Miles gets to be the fucking Spider-Man who helps the symbiote guy out.
Nice.
And it's really good. Also, Crossbones is there. Come on down to Goblin Nation for all your goblin needs. Yeah.
Finally, the spiritual successor to Alien Nation, Goblin Nation.
Yeah, Phil Urich is Phil is the nephew. Ben is the reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Urich is a decaying corpse rotting away in a sewer, alive somehow.
Nice.
Yeah. It's good though. Red Goblin is good. You and I both read World's Finest Teen Titans.
Yeah, this issue's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This series is just very good at like taking old concepts, like here's a goofy issue where the teenage superheroes go for a haunted house, and applying modern storytelling sensibilities that give them a bit more pathos, a bit more going on.
Bit more meat.
Yeah, a bit more meat on the bone. And that's essentially what this is, because it's just like doing the thing that World's Finest does of going, we're doing this old stock plot, but also this isn't an ongoing current continuity comic, so we're just going to get every character that we want to pulled in, and we're going to do a thing, and it's going to be fun, and you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, it was good.
I actually really especially enjoyed the whole opening where it's just like showing Donna Troy, like reacting to Man's World in the way everybody always expects Wonder Woman to react. Where she's just like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. This is the best thing ever.
Look at all this neat stuff.
Uh-huh. And they're all just like, do you even care about having a secret identity? And she's just like, Robin, come over here.
I also love how Garth Aqualad is just straight up having an overstimulated autism moment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say autistic. I think he's more of like probably ADHD if we're going to say neurodivergency of some kind.
Hmm. But he's clearly overstimulated being on the land.
Yeah. Like he's repeatedly going like it's too bright, it's too loud because he's used to underwater. So yeah, good book, good book.
Yeah.
Mark Waid, good writer. I can't wait. Young writer, good writer. Okay, he's climbing up the world. Can't wait to see what he does.
Emmanuel Lupacino, good artist.
Yeah. You read Fire and Ice.
So I'm a level with y'all.
Uh-huh.
I literally read this just because that new figure of this guy got announced and it looked really cool.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, there's a new comic about him too. Maybe I'll see if I like this guy, so I have a reason to buy that figure.
Yeah.
And this is pretty good. It's very much it's a lot more classical fantasy than I was even expecting it to be, because I know this is an old story, and I've not seen the movie. I've not read any of the original stories with these characters. This is my first exposure to this universe, but I was surprised with just like how harsh and how like old storytelling sensibility this feels. It doesn't feel like a modern fantasy comic. It feels like a fantasy comic from like the 70s, or even as far back as the pulp era. I could see this fitting in. And the art is fucking beautiful. It's very clearly trying to emulate Frazetta's style, but not in like this is just carbon copy kind of way. In like a way that feels very appropriate and very beautiful in its own right. And I enjoyed it enough that I think I will check out the second issue. I don't know if I'm going to keep on with this indefinitely, but it's a very interesting little world, and I'm enjoying getting my footing in it. So I don't know if long term old school Fire and Ice fans will be into this, but like I say, check it out.
Yeah, nice. We both read Miles Morales issue 9. Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 9.
AKA Miles goes, I need therapy.
Hey, Miles, Doc Samson is right over there.
Yeah. I love how like I complained about like, oh, they're with the last issue I complained like, oh, they just got out of an event and now they're doing a big bombastic story with a classic Spider-Man villain. This is going way too fast. This book needs to slow down. And then literally the back half of this issue is just Miles going, I need to slow the hell down. Life is hard.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. It's a really solid, very realistic feeling issue, especially for a modern Spider-Man. And that's also been a consistent thing with this book. The reason I like the opening arc is it just feels like taking those old Peter Parker tropes of too much is happening and I'm causing effects in the world that I'm not realizing until they come back to bite me, and putting them in a more modern context that makes sense for Miles. And this is another really good example of that.
Yeah.
I'm still digging this book a whole lot.
Oh yeah, it is a breath of fresh air going to this Spider-Man book after dealing with the Peter Spider-Man book. We both read Immortal X-Men number 14,
AKA the Broken Charles universe.
It is so heartbreaking. Because it's just Charles laying it all out there of like
the first 4 or 5 pages are just him staring blankly out into the sea while narrating everything that's happened since the Hellfire Gala.
He is literally just going like, I tried everything. Nothing worked. Everyone is dead as far as I am aware.
And then we cut to New York, and Shaw just fucking takes a little injection and is like, "Oh yeah, I was never actually mutant. By the way, I just had a mutant gene. It's fine. I'm gonna go back to my my business ventures and whatnot. That whole Hellfire phase is behind me now."
How much money do I have right now? Nothing. Emma Frost did something, and you don't have anything. What?
God damn it!
Oh yeah. Also, you were kicked out of the Hellfire Club. What? And he goes and storms there, and Emma's just like psychically goes into his head, like
she psychically projects herself as fucking
classic,
old school Hellfire Gala White Queen Emma.
and she goes, "Oh, Shaw, did you really think I would let you get away with all of this? No. See, I did it for the children. You did this for sense."
Also, what's her name? Sinister's wife shows up and is like, fuck you. You tried to make a deal with me and I double crossed you. Haha.
Yeah. It's just shit on Shaw, the fucking section.
Mm-hmm. Which is always like some of the best points of the post Hellfire Gala era or the post Krakoa era.
Yeah. Oh man. There's a lot of fucking things.
Also, he takes a boat and he's like, we're gonna go take Krakoa by force, and then Charles psychically sends some monster mashes after the people he sends on the island.
It's just
funny.
Like, no more. I'm just done. I'm tired.
I'm just gonna pull an Oliver Queen and just stay on this island for a while.
But
and then fucking then we see where all the people who went for the portals went.
They're in the fucking middle of a fucking desert, and Exodus full on goes, all right, I guess I'm Moses now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, also, the most badass thing is, like, he starts walking, and he goes, like, he projects to the whole crowd. It's like, let's go this way. Water and food is this way. And then
Hope's like, you don't fucking know that. And he's like, they don't know that.
They don't know that, and you have to have faith.
Mm-hmm. Also, I love that fucking Destiny just starts freaking out, and she's like, "Where's Raven? Where's Raven? What happened to Raven? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!" And Hope just slaps her,
and she just shuts up. It's great. Oh my god!
X-Men never fails to hit.
It is so good. Who would have thought the nothing character from the 90s, Exodus, would be one of the MVPs of the modern mutant era?
My man. My friggin' man. You never say a character will never amount to anything in comics. You never know.
I mean, fuck, Judas Traveler right now is the fucking fake news network for Orcus.
Mm-hmm. Where's my friggin' Azrael comeback? Chip, do something to make Azrael the coolest guy ever.
But, like, again, this just makes me feel very sad for Charles. Because this is like, I did everything. I thought I did everything. I did everything I thought I could do to, like, save everything. And it bites me in the ass. And now everybody...
And to be honest, when I was reading those first few pages, I was like, oh, is this whole issue just going to be misery porn? I don't know if I want to read that.
No. And it's just like... And he's also going, like, I pushed everyone a fucking way. And now everybody hates me. And I thought I was doing the right thing, and I wasn't, and it's fucked. Shit. He's just not in a good place.
Yeah, he's gonna go into himself for a while, which is understandable.
Yeah. We both read Fantastic Four. I read it last week. You read it this week.
Yeah, I finally read it. It's pretty good.
It is a damn good, just one-shot sci-fi horror story with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I'm not as in love with it as you seem to be, but I do acknowledge like it's a very good execution of a concept.
Yeah. I love seeing heroes from the outside perspective of, oh god, what the fuck are these? You know? And I appreciate that.
Yeah. Because it's essentially just what if the Fantastic Four were an episode of Ultra Q?
And plus, I felt for the alien peoples, like the one woman who was just like, oh, what is that knocking noise? Let's see if I can get the knocking noise to stop by attacking the thing. And it stops for a second. She's so relieved. And the knocking continues. And she's like, no!
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's good. Also, this cover is beautiful.
Yeah, fucking Alex Ross is just kicking ass on this book right now.
You read Spirit World.
I sure did. I read Spirit World number 4.
Yeah.
And it's
that is
it's
the
still,
number.
Yeah, it's still real solid. It's just kind of continuing on from the last
Mhm.
issue, dealing with the problem of trying to get everybody back to the regular world, and it's not really working out. And the big plan goes wrong, and one of the guys gets kind of fucked up, and they're like, "Oh shit, how are we gonna fix this? We got to go make a deal with a guy," and that might not be the best course of or everybody's favorite course of action. Just one of those kind of issues.
Mm. All right,
I liked it.
that's good. You also read Love Everlasting.
Yeah,
Is Love
I
Everlasting?
oh boy, is it. I actually missed when issue 9 came out, so I read it 9 and 10 this week, and oh boy, was that a hard hitter, a hard double hitter right there, because this is essentially this whole arc has been Joan, it seems to be stuck in a particular world. She can't figure her way out of this one lifetime, and she's like, "Oh, is this supposed to be it? Is this supposed to be the one where I'm finally happy?" And in the last issue, her husband died, and it ended with her going like, "Oh, I'm the only one at this funeral that doesn't feel anything. Oh no." And then this issue 10, she's in a retirement home, and she falls in love with another retiree, and and he shares like her dark sense of humor and all that, and they're like really getting into it at the end of their life. And then literally when they get married and have the kiss to seal the deal, she immediately wakes up in another universe,
Oh
because
shit.
that's the twist of this arc. She what This love story wasn't about her falling in love with her first husband, it was about her finding her way to her second husband. And so as soon as she's in love with that guy and married to him, story's over. Now you're in the next one. And she just wakes up and she's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?
I
Oh,
lived a lifetime.
this." And she just immediately murders the guy she's supposed to be falling in love with. And the cowboy shows up and he's like, "You broke the rules again." She's like, "I know. Tell my mom to go fuck herself." And then he shoots her to be continued.
It's almost 6 a.m. You're gonna go to sleep. Fucking sleep.
Yeah, you really should have done that a while ago, Nightmare. Thanks for tuning in, though. Yeah. Love Everlasting is like, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it is one of those Tom King books that I'm just every issue I'm like, you clever fucking guy. Oh man, I love your writing.
You know what? You're a king of twists.
Hmm.
Alright, let's continue. I read Avengers, issue number 4.
Hey, what's going on in Avengers right now?
They fight the bad guys.
You can always catch the replay, Nightmare. Also,
Yeah.
fighting the bad guys sounds good.
Yeah. It's literally just like all the people who split up, it's them fighting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Also, we haven't mentioned it. Marvel for certain books has been putting a John Romita senior little box in the corner, and I appreciate
Tribute.
that.
Maybe.
Good tribute. I appreciate.
Wasn't there like a little free page tribute to him in
In
the
every
new
book.
Spider-Man as well?
Yeah, there's like in a lot of the books, there's also like a little obituary kind of thing. We both read Doctor Strange. I read it last week. You read it this week.
Yeah. Again, like, I don't think I'm as impressed with this issue as you sounded last week, but I did enjoy it. I did like getting to see the whole backstory of this villain before we actually go into their arc. And it's a really well executed, like, 100 Years War story.
But
I
it's
like
not
the
100. It's like thousands and thousands of years, and
Mhm.
it's
And it's a really solid execution of just the story of the war that goes on too long and it kind of ruins everybody. That old chestnut.
oh yeah, and it's great. And it's also it's like it's not even like a villain. It's like a villain origin story, but it is our hero. It's not
Mhm.
like this some rando fucker. It's
It's
Doctor
an
Strange.
it's not even like an alternate universe version of Doctor Strange. They say this is our Doctor Strange, but he split his soul in two so he could go do this
No,
and
no, no,
keep
no,
watch
no.
on the main reality.
That's not what he did.
What did they say
The
he did?
the Vishanti took Doctor Strange and said, "All right, go win this war for us, and when you're done, we'll put you back where you were, back in the right time."
And then they don't do that, right?
No, they do. They just take all the memories that he's lived through and put it in a jar.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, it's a lot of stuff happened this week.
So literally, that's how they were able to get away with it, because they said, we promised to put Doctor Strange back there, but we didn't promise to say that he would keep his memories.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh god.
Yeah, it's like when we found out Donald Blake was still trapped in the hammer.
Mm-hmm. Also, we've been getting more hints at the gods. Wynn was cool in this issue. He just shows up and says like, "Hey, when you die, gonna have your stuff."
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah, those cameos have been very hit or miss, but they're not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. We both read Children of the Vault #1.
AKA, at least I think this is the one where Bishop and Cable are just going, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck.
Yeah. It's Bishop and Cable in the plot of They Live against the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
Because, tell me if I'm wrong, these guys give the Authority / the Elite vibes.
A little bit.
And it's just like, Cable's just looking at everybody's mind and going like, oh shit, they've infected everybody. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Also, is this supposed to be like an aged up version of that teenage Cable we saw at the beginning of the Hellfire Gala, or is this is the old man Cable we had been following?
This is Old Man Cable we have been following because we haven't seen him in a bit.
Okay, so we still don't know where what happened to teenage.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to grab him at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be great if he showed up, if they found him in this book and he just became like the Damian Wayne Robin to this older Cable.
And he's just dreading us like, oh, I remember when this happened. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh man, you're really not gonna like what comes after this. Oh well.
You were a teenage Cable.
This
is
That's
great.
What I should have called that book.
This is a good fucking book. I liked it. I like Bishop and Cable's like interactions of like, I don't like you, but we're the only ones left, so fuck it.
We're the only people capable of dealing with this, so we have to work together.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite book of the week, but it was pretty good.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying it's my favorite. It's just I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
You read Conan.
Yeah, the new Conan book from, I believe this is Titan Comics, who usually I don't like, or at least the people they get to work on their books I don't usually like. I really hated when they had the Doctor Who license. Most of the Doctor Who books were kind of crap. But this book is pretty solid because it's not trying to like retread or adapt any like old Conan story. It's Jim Zub, who is a lifelong Conan fan, going like, all right, from like my general memory of Conan stories I read when I was a kid, this is like the next chapter in Conan's adventures. And it is literally, he is dealing with a thing, and then this horde of marauders comes and attacks the place he's at, and it all gets fucked up, and he grabs this lady and he's like, hey, we're the only survivors. Let's go back to where I'm from and regroup, and then maybe we can come back and beat these guys. And she's like, you haven't heard about these guys? They wrecked that place you just told me you were from. And it's like, oh shit, Conan's home was destroyed. How's he gonna deal with that? And it's fairly solidly done. It's a lot more of like a modern style fantasy comic, but it's still fairly solidly written, and the art is really nice, kind of like a rougher look to it than you would normally expect for Conan. The cover isn't indicative of the interior with this. But it's a pretty solid little book, and I know Jim Zub was very excited to be working on Conan, so I'm gonna I'm gonna give this another issue. We'll see how this goes.
Conan looks into the camera and goes, "Not again." Womp womp. Let me double check. We okay. You read Power Rangers?
I did read Power Rangers. I read last week's issue of Power Rangers because it wasn't out when I had time to
I'm
read
just
it.
double checking that we didn't skip anything.
Oh my
Yeah, okay.
god.
Because I double pressed the button. I was like, oh no, did it skip other things? No, it's the original.
This feels like this issue isn't bad. It
Uh-huh.
feels like it's fairly solidly written, but it feels like it should be a lot more impactful than it is for me, and I think that largely just has to do with I didn't enjoy the last couple issues, and I'm looking at this and I'm going like, this is better than the last couple issues, but because I didn't enjoy those, the very much like it's all coming down to the wire, and then at the end of this, oh shit, the shit's about to get fucked. We're going into the darkest hour has begun. I'm just kind of like, okay, we've known that's been coming for a while now. Let's see what that's actually like.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of cool little moments in this, like Zed and the Rangers having to team up, and everybody being unhappy with the arrangement, or friggin' Dane and the Death Ranger turn back up as Mistress Vile's minions for them to fight. And like that's all really fun and cool that like we're playing with characters in that way, and like the Zordon's body is still rebelling against Mistress Vile's spell and all that kind of stuff. There's a really neat moment where brainwashed Matt is like saying all this horrible shit to Grace, and she's like, "You don't mean that. You don't mean that." And he's like, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do." But ultimately, it just didn't hit as hard as like it probably should. It's just an okay issue.
Uh, no investment, good payoff kind of vibe as described in the chat.
Hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
All right, next book. Next book. I read Ghost Rider Wolverine.
Oh, I thought this was coming out next month.
No, this is the alpha.
Oh, okay. Uh, what happens in this so that I don't have to read it, please?
Okay, so real quick, flashback. Years ago, there was a kid, and everybody thought the kid was fucking creepy, so they were trying to figure out what to do with him.
Was that kid's name Johnny Blaze?
No. So the social worker went to Xavier's school for gifted youngsters and said, like, hey, is this kid a mutant? Can he come here? And Xavier's like,
On this little shit off on you.
it's nicer than that, but like Xavier goes like, I'm sorry, he's not a mutant. We deal with the supernatural. He's possessed by the devil, cause everywhere else he goes after that, a giant pyre of flesh made out of human bodies happens.
Oh, I hate it when that happens. That's such a pain in the ass to clean up.
And it started to happen again, and Wolverine tracks down Johnny Blaze and goes like, hey, bub, we have a thing we need to do. Let's go ride our motorcycles and go track this down. Oh shit, yeah. And that's the end of the book.
Sound effect. I love that. I want you to now do the sound effects for bikes and Kamen Rider all the time.
It ends. The last panel is just Wolverine and Johnny Blaze riding their bikes down the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's cool. It's gonna be a fun, dumb team up, and that's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that kid was dead for 47. I can see that happening. It's gonna be fucking, especially with how Ghost Rider's been. It's, yeah. We both read the Superman annual.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to get this, and it is pretty good because it's just it's not even a Superman story. It's Lois as editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet story. We're finally fleshing that concept out, and it's pretty good. I like this story dynamic. I don't necessarily love what it ends in, but I want to give Williamson the faith that it's going to play out in a cool way.
Mm-hmm.
Also, all the artist changes are really jarring.
but it's also just like a hey, you know all those arcs we've been doing and all those setups. Here we're reiterating all of them just for future purposes.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else is weird? The like first couple pages in the cover are drawn by the guy who like drew most of the beginning of the New 52 Superman main title.
Yeah.
So like I was looking at this cover and I was looking at that splash page of Superman fighting Toyman, and I was like, why does this look weird to me? And then I remembered that and I was like, oh, this just looks like New 52 Superman.
Oh. But there's a lot of fun little things. Parasite is getting Parasite's being rehabilitated.
Yeah, I love he's like, "Hey guys, what's going on? I got a real job now. Isn't that great?" Oh, one of the Mii's is still around. Can I keep it? Can I make it a pet? That is fucking weird, but okay.
There's a lot of good little bits. The interview with Livewire is just fun. It's just catching up with everything.
Steve Lombard being his usual dumbass self.
Yeah.
And I believe we get a another little cute panel of Jimmy and Silver Banshee being a thing.
Yeah.
Also, the retconned in mad scientists have Lobo, and he's just calling them bastages.
Oh, they're also making more parallels to Lobo and Superman. He says, "I'm the last son of Kizarnia." Or Kizar, or whatever his fucking place is called.
Yeah. It's like, well, and I think he literally says at one point, he's like, I just want to go back to my daughter.
And fucking Brainiac has a bottle city of his planet.
That's going to be interesting.
Um,
And should we talk about the other big reveal?
Oh, yeah, that Perry hid Lex Luthor being a hero 5 years ago.
And also, he's not actually in the hospital anymore. He's running for mayor.
Yeah.
Josh, don't make Perry an asshole. This better be a trick. This better be a wool over my eyes, buddy. Or
I think this is okay.
I'm gonna complain on this podcast.
My theory is that Perry hid that information because he didn't want to give Lex Luthor any ammo that he's a good man, because he knows the truth of his character, and it's just like him doing one good act does not negate all the shit he's done, and that shouldn't be evidence for him, you know.
Yeah.
Perry was Hydra the whole time.
Perry shows up next regular issue behind Lois as she's looking over like a file folder, and he just goes, "Hail Hydra," and she's like, "What the fuck is Hydra?"
Oh, is there a Nazi organization in DC?
There's Cobra.
Oh,
Cobra with a K.
Jesus Christ. That's a good book, though.
Yeah.
We both read Guardians of the Galaxy #5.
Oh man, this issue.
It's just them yelling at each other, going like,
It's just that point at the end of the second act of a Guardians movie where they're all yelling at each other and all the issues are bubbling to the forefront, and then they go, "Oh shit, there's a thing going on. We need to go save people."
Yeah, it's good.
I love the full page of just Mantis switching between all her different personalities. That was a really cool moment.
Yeah, I like how it's like, oh yeah, she found the magic dress and it really like helped her with that. That was like neat. It's good. Guardians is good.
Yeah.
I don't. What else can we say?
It's good. I like it.
And you read Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons.
This book is so fucking fun. Like, honestly, it's just like, if you like Pirates of the Caribbean in the slightest, or pirate media in the slightest, you're gonna have a good time with this, because it's literally just like the kind of writing you see in those movies, but it's a pirate telling a story about finding and fighting Godzilla. And it is really fun. Like there's a whole sequence in this where he's like, "Oh, we got on the island," and we started making our way inside, and we saw giant fucking sea turtles that almost ate us as they were going for the shore, and I think they were actually babies. Oh, we found a boat in the middle of the fucking island. How did it get there? Oh, I wonder if Godzilla carried it onto the island. And there's a bunch of dead pirates in there. And just Cody here, the fucking giant dead crab inside the ship's hull.
Crap!
hmm and the captain of the ship has like a logbook, and it's like, there's lots of other freaky shit on the island, and then a bunch of giant bats come and take them all away. And at that point in the story, the like officers who are going to take him for execution are like, all right, that's fucking far enough. We were willing to believe you on like an island in the middle of nowhere with a big monster mash and a bunch of treasure. But giant animals, this is getting ridiculous. You're just stalling. We're gonna take you to the gallows now. And the last page is him literally looking for the noose they're about to hang him by. So we'll see where that ends up here. I think there's like 5 more issues of this book. So
And then Godzilla comes in with a steel chair.
Mm-hmm. Also, all the covers are awesome. There's like 4 covers for each issue, and they are all fucking beautiful.
That's good. And that's the last book.
Yeah. It's I really agree, Tim. It's like that idea is so awesome, even though like it fundamentally kind of fucks with the original movie. It's why I'm so excited about Godzilla -1.
I mean, just kind of take it as like this is an alternate take. That's all it is. It's not trying to be in canon.
Yeah, and I kind of hope that's what -1 is. It's not a prequel. It's just what if Godzilla actually showed up during the fucking Second World War.
What if Godzilla fucking punched Hitler in the mouth?
Fucking the movie just turns into like a giant fucking Greatest Generation wish fulfillment for Japan of like if they win the Second World War for Godzilla.
But they are on the right side now, and it's just like, we're sorry, we have Godzilla now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
It's not gonna be that, but
no.
the packed but solid week.
Packed but solid. But you know what is also solid?
My content?
I mean, sure, if you want to say it's solid. You gotta promote your shit, buddy.
I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. I think they're pretty solid. You should check them out. They're on YouTube at the Vacuuminator. I also post older clips of my older videos. That's on TikTok at the _Vacuuminator. I also have an Instagram where I post daily action figure photography. That's at the _Vacuuminator. I have a Tumblr where all that gets collated. That's thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. And I have a Twitter for now where everything gets collated. That is at the Vacuuminator. And I have a Blue Sky, which is going to be one of the main places to keep track of me in the coming future. That's at thevacuuminator.bsky.social.
Wonderful. Wonderful, delightful.
Mm-hmm.
You said all those syllables.
I sure did.
Hi, I'm Boingo. I do a variety of things. I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/BoingoWriter. Hopefully, there might be something on this week. I don't know. Who knows? I also have YouTube videos at Boingo Writer. Find me over on the YouTube. Give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscribe. Do all the things over there. I am also on a variety of social media platforms: Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Boingo_Writer. I am on Mastodon if you want to follow me there at Boingo_Writer at VT.social. I am also on Tumblr. Link is in the description. Find me wherever you find the internet. But yeah. I'll be on Blue Sky in like what, a week? When you get a fucking invite link?
Maybe sooner.
Oh, do you have an invite link already?
I might have opened it while you were talking just now.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You want to set up a Blue Sky tonight?
I'll do it after the show.
Yeah. All right. Okay, that's happening. Go follow Boingo on Twitter to see his Blue Sky when it goes up.
So by the way, everybody, by the way, this is No Bryce Podcast. We talk about comics here. We also have other podcasts. Yeah, we're just wrapping up, so you can just bounce. It's fine.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. You have a good one as well.
There's no after credits scene on this podcast. You can leave at the credits.
Yeah, I'm not a Kevin Feige.
You're not a Feige.
Figgy.
We have other podcasts, including Components, where we fuck around, find out. Sometimes we have guests, and we try not to fuck up. This next episode is, I think, a really good one, and I think we were all really happy with how it turned out.
It's a lot of me verbally walking a tightrope.
I just wanted to say it's finding down. Fair.
Yeah.
We also have Analytical Fanboys, a monthly media cast where one person picks a piece of media, the rest of us watch it, and then we talk about it. This month, because it's already announced and we can just talk about it. We are
Snowcone's making us watch G-Witch.
Yeah, we're watching G-Witch, Gundam G-Witch. It's sure I haven't started yet. I can watch it fast enough.
I just got to the second season.
We're fine. We have
what world are we in where I'm fucking way ahead of you on the thing?
Fuck it. We also have other podcasts such as Twit, This Week in Tokyo, the podcast where Vacuum and Air and Buster Core talk about that week in Tokusatsu minus Power Rangers.
I still have to watch all the new episodes for this week. I'm going to do that as soon as we get off the stream and I get Boingo's Blue Sky code.
I need to watch Blazar and make the video for tomorrow because you're.
I mean, you could skip this one if you want. It is like a special recap episode.
I'll do something for it.
Okay.
If it's just a recap, I'll just you know what? I'll just make a text post. I'm telling you as my patron on Patreon.
Thank you.
That I'm going to make a text post talking about it and what I thought of it, but I'm not going to make a video on it.
Sounds good.
I still need to make a monthly podcast.
Yeah.
But we also have another brand new podcast. Would you like to tell the people about Saturday morning panel?
Hey everybody, Saturday Morning Panels, or SMP, is a G.I. Joe and Transformers podcast that myself and Snowcone83 do on the third Thursday of every month. So there's an episode coming out later this week where we discuss the one or two big news items from the worlds of Transformers and G.I. Joe in the last month. We discuss the classic issues of the Marvel Transformers and G.I. Joe comics, and we discuss our recent purchases, because we were just going to discuss like whatever recent releases we wanted to, but then the strikes happened, so we're just kind of stuck talking about toys for a while. But toys are cool. I go on a big old tangent about this thing in this week's episode, so look forward to that.
Is it good?
Also, we talked about the I'm not gonna spoil the podcast.
Oh shit, you gotta watch the podcast to find out.
Yeah. We also talk about the big 40th anniversary Transformers figure. Have you seen that thing, by the way, Boingo?
Is it the G1 styled Optimus that has more joints?
Yeah. Missing Link Convoy.
Is it just because it's like this is between G1 and the more articulated modern era?
Yeah, it's just what if we had the technology and the impetus to make that figure fully articulated when we did it, and also all the like old sticker detailing is actually sculpted and painted.
That's not a bad idea. I think that's cool.
Yeah. But we had an extensive discussion about that, and we talked about G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue number 3 from September of 1982. So if you want to hear all that discussion between myself and Snowcomb for about an hour and a half, subscribe and stay tuned for this Thursday when that comes out.
Yeah. Subscribe to Modular Media, like this video, leave a comment down below what you thought about this episode, what you kind of want to... You have a thought of like what comics we should and shouldn't talk about? You want to yell at us for our opinions on Spider-Man? Go right ahead.
How come you guys didn't read that new independent comic that's literally just called Comic Book that came out this week? Leave that comment.
Is that real?
I think that
being shit.
I'm almost certain that was a thing this week. I looked at that and I went, I just don't have the patience.
But hey, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, support us, and we can make more shit for your ears. Till next time, Vac, do you have anything else you would like to say?
I'm very hot and sweaty. There's like sunscreen and bug sprays on my face from when I was shooting earlier today. It's hurting my eyes.
Fair enough. Enough said.